good morning, everyone. How are you this morning? I hope this finds you well, and I hope your detoxes are going good. I know some of you are struggling, but you're all doing well. I was looking at some pictures here of some stones and something that a lady's throwing up and pooping out. A lot of orange mucus she's throwing up and moving out her bowels, and so she's really kicking it up. So amazing. Switzerland, good job. You know, all I can tell you is that you're going to see some pretty weird stuff in some of you coming out. It's amazing what builds and coagulates in the human body. Gnarly looking stuff for sure. A lot of the mucus and stuff. Go ahead and dress them over here.
Yep.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. These were emails sent to Jennifer, and this one I took a glance at the other day, and I wanted to address this. This is a lady with her husband with PKD, basically has polycystic kidneys, and he seems ready to abandon the treatment. He is still in pain, and in November was slightly better, and he does not believe that the kidney could regenerate itself. Well, Laura, I hope for your sake that your husband hangs in there. Probably going to have to keep, doing some, I don't know what his diet is or how he's been doing on it, but you can see with all the other people here that you got to really kick it up there into the fruit levels, particularly if you have multiple cysts on the kidneys or anything, ovaries, anywhere. It just shows how backed up the lymphatic system is. In terms of regenerating the kidneys, it depends how much deterioration the kidneys have. I can't remember the case and the creatinine levels to see where the kidneys would be, but you could conceivably have multiple cysts on the kidneys with very little kidney atrophy or breakdown, being the fact that the body's isolating this lymph system somewhat, creating these pockets of acid fluid. So the biggest thing is to get the kidneys to filter, again, the adrenal, and that's in and of its own self, too. That's the other problem we face, is that the kidney's just a bunch of cells, too, with the two fluids. So, yeah, there's a lot to that. The adrenals, of course, are an issue with this gentleman as well, and it's just fasting be the excellent thing for him. There is regeneration at every level. There isn't, you're done and you can't rebuild. I mean, when you're talking about a very few people on the planet that's so advanced it's even hard for this level to get, that soul was meant to go on to another journey because there's no getting them. And so have fun, you dropping a body and getting another one. But in a situation like this where it's kidneys, oh, good. Thanks, Drew. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Thanks, man. But you just don't want to give up. I mean, the alternative is not better. The alternative to going down this road is generally medical, because this is the highest road in natural health. And certainly if we can't get you, then certainly the alternative would be alternative medicine. And alternative medicine is allopathic medicine. They just tried to pull a slick one on us, and it's worked up till now. But people are getting too smart now, especially you guys, to realize that we're if anything conventional. If anything, I like the word traditional, because naturopathic herbology, fasting, raw foods, traditional. This goes back. You start looking in Jesus' time and reading about the Essenes and the agnostics, and you start going back and studying, you'll see raw foods, you'll see fasting, You'll see the use of botanicals in Indian literature, China's long recorded history, 5,000 years or more. So, when someone comes up and their chest is out and they say, we're the best, we're the ones, we're traditional, or we're the number one medicine, and you guys are alternative, that makes me want to throw up. That these guys need a swift kick in the hiney for that sort of thinking. No one was doing it to them, but now we're going to give them all a quick little swift kick in the hiney, because we got to quit killing people over the sake of medicine, because the word medicine is tarnished with so many deaths and so much suffering that it needs to be buried or something, because this isn't the appropriate way to get well, and it's not a God way, it's not the nature's way, it's not the universe's way. It is some radical, dark agey way of dealing with this, and we've talked a great deal about that, and especially in reflect on most cancers. This is a barbaric treatment, so I see where people are here, but your husband, Laura, should not give up with polycystic kidney problems or anything like that. Yeah, there's some work at it, but I'd suggest doing some fasting, some juice fasting, and really work on it and keep working with the kidney formulas and stuff. Some of the herbal formulas for the kidneys could cause a little discomfort because they're going to be a little drawing and pulling a little bit. So, yeah, I would never give up, but it's up to you, your husband. But I can understand. A lot of people don't understand the chronicness of where we're at in our health issues, or I wouldn't be so forceful, if you will, with what's going on. We're at the door where we can't continue. People do the same thing over and over and over and over, bad habits over and over, until that bad habit creates some very serious issues. And that's what we've got going now. We've reached a point where humans cannot continue down using the path of medicine. Very tarnished path of a lot of nasty stuff, and it just can't keep going. We're at a new age of love and beauty, and you see it dawning in all these countries, and people fighting their dictators. And even in this country, we have a dictator. We have a president who is a dictator. We have a Congress who is dictators. These guys don't care about truth or law or anything like that. Are you kidding? It's out. There's a few of the new guys, the Tea Partiers that are really good people. I like Ron Paul's son. I think he should be up there, and I think he'd have a good chance of getting president, and he would definitely beat the current dictator. I'm going to show you some Christmas cards I got. Is that beautiful? I adore you guys. This is beautiful. Here's another beautiful Christmas card. You've all sent in your Christmas cards and goodies, and I thank you. This is a beautiful, beautiful. Let me see who this is from. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. I love you too, Angel. And this is a beautiful one. This is from Tina. Beautiful stuff. We honor all of you guys out there, and we love you guys too. We make a good family. This is Helene. Thank you for this. And your questions. She's got 16 teeth with mercury fillings, 2 root canals since 15 to 20 years, 1 filling left, and teeth 1.5 years ago. So far, I didn't find an affordable, safe, and trustable dentist. Well, there's some out there, and you just have to find someone that'll remove them. They're going to red bag it anyway. They're going to use your little protection. I've had mine out with any of that protection. My dentistry's really good. I figure, by now, forget it. You already got the mercury. So get them pulled out. Clean your lymph system. If your lymph system isn't moving, you're going to carry that mercury in the head area for all your life. And it's going to continue to create inflammation. But get your lymph moving. That's how you clean your body, is the lymph system, not the blood. So get your lymph system moving, and you'll clean all this out, and everybody will be good again. Don't over freak out on stuff like that. Many of us have played with mercury in our fingers. So I would just get it out, forget about it, and go on. And you do it the cheapest way you can. Better out than in. And if you got residues, which you're already going to have residues, honey, then just just keep detoxifying yourself. Heavy green drinks and stuff like that. I think another question you might have had here, one of you said that I never speak about sprouts. Well, as you guys, I've been through a lot of phases in the earlier years. I grew my own sprouts for years. I've done all kinds of things. I burned out on the honey syndromes. I mean, I went through a lot of different syndromes, and I'm definitely for sprouts. Alfalfa is my favorite. Everybody's into all kinds of fenugreek and all that. Never really tried fenugreek sprouts. Love fenugreek, though. Breaks up hardened mucus in the body. Definitely love fenugreek. But I don't mind sprouts at all. Victor's a sproutitarian, if you want to use that word, but still vegetable matter. I'm really a fruit, berry, and melon man, and no, I don't eat exclusively. You kind of get an indication here, sweetheart, but I'm not on a 100% fruit diet, and I don't plan to be for a while. Would I love to be there? In Costa Rica? Yeah, somewhere where I don't sit there and starve looking at grocery store food. Right now we have a pathetic situation. I see it in your case. I see it in a lot of cases where we have a pathetic time right now of getting good fruits and stuff, and so you do the best you can. Definitely. Some of the questions this lady had was, today I started to buy grape juices, and after over a liter, a quart of grape juices, I started to feel what you mean by how strong it is. However, this is pasteurized. Try the unpasteurized dark black seeded grape juice, fresh squeezed. Try that one on. Pasteurized and very expensive. What was interesting and what I really liked about grapes was even after pasteurized, not from concentrate, you still had a fairly decent magnetic resonance from that. I can't remember what the angstroms was, but my guess is you're probably going to pick up 4,000 or 5,000 angstroms from a 12,000. Grapes are probably around 12,000 angstroms, or magnetic units of energy, if you will, that it emanates, basically. And pasteurized, it still gives off a fair amount. Most vegetables cooked, which is a lot less than pasteurization, still give off around 1,000, coming down from 9,000. So I don't know, that's how powerful I think fruits and berries are. Even cooked, they still are hanging on to life. I love it. But yeah, you asked me about going and getting imported fresh grapes as opposed to pasteurized. I think anytime you can consume unpasteurized anything, it's always better, even if there's a time factor involved or whatever to that. I really do. So how important is it to get non-pasteurized grape juice from fresh grapes imported from a few thousand miles away compared to buying possibly juice bottle in bulk? I think it's better to have your fresh juices, honey. I really do. Unless you're a week from the time it's pressed to the time you get it, I don't know, But anytime you've got raw, you've got it over pasteurized, because you've got, even though you have magnetics, you do have bonding of chemistry, and I just, I don't know. I love rebounding. Okay. I've completed my detox. Did I finish? Let me see. How do you get rid of the sulfur? You detox it out. That's the only thing I know, is keep detoxing it out. Astringents, your fruits. I don't know how well greens work on sulfur. Most of our clients, I have to take beyond the greens to get them where they need to be, so we don't spend a lot of time with greens. But I certainly believe that it is a detoxifier of the body to a certain extent. Since I don't see very well, how do I make all the money needed to safely remove all the amalgams now? Already released by cleaning my kidneys, adrenals, lymph, and meantime rebuilding the bones with horsetail tea and exercising my jaws. Okay? You don't mention sprouts. Okay, I just did. I'll go back to the U.S. All right, B12. This is another B12 question referencing low cobalt in the soils, but you've got to consider the adrenal glands because the amount that we need of nutrients is so small, it's not even funny. And if you get more above the ground into fruitarianism, then it'll even freak you out more if you try to apply what you think are the laws that we need minerals. You know, we have a certain level in natural health where minerals are the cat's meow. I think it's a Pottinger, and all these people think the minerals are the cat's meow. Well, I don't. I think salts are, maybe. You know, when you look at biological transmutations, we left the ground a long time ago. And most of the most longevity people eat above the ground, especially that painting we were commenting on up on my shelf there, Dr. Jensen's painting of, I can't ever pronounce his name, 256-year-old Chinese man. One of you guys wrote in about him. He believed in eating everything above the ground and off of the ground, and I firmly believe that. But remember, your body's a major chemical factory. Your liver's a major chemical factory, and your body's always transmutating chemistry. It is said that some modern research is showing amino acids made from glucose. So, you know, we don't know a lot. You think we know everything about the human body, and look at what the medical profession doesn't know about the lymph system, which is the dominant fluid of the human body. That's staggering. That's huge, because that's the core of all man's suffering. And there's no understanding of that system, or very little. And that's, but this is true throughout the industry. We have very little understanding of the human body. I still say a lot of people are sleeping, and a lot of people think the world is still flat. Haven't woken up to more things. So I don't believe that B12 shots, none of my clients ever get these things and never have problems, and I don't believe in doing things like that. Get your adrenals back in the state of health. That's where B12 is dealt with. Let me see, I'm on the fruits I need. You asked me, this is a situation where she's saying that sleeping, when I was eating more veggies and sprouts, I managed to sleep about 6 to 7 hours a night. And this was so helpful. But now I'm on fruits, I need to sleep at least 8 hours, okay? It is because of the detox, and I've got to let it be. This durian rider, a fruitarian bicycle athlete, says he needs 12 hours. I don't know where you guys get off on that. It may be, but I can tell you, when I was a fruitarian, are you kidding, 12 hours of sleep? If I got 1, I was lucky. If I got 2 or 3, I was doing good. I was totally rested at maybe 3 hours. I don't know where you guys are coming. It might be the detox, and you haven't achieved some of this vitalness, but I can tell you, everyone I've ever taken up into the fruitarian level, totally the opposite. They sleep very little. The problem is they don't tire. They get bored quicker than they get tired. So I don't know if it's detox, and it does show weak adrenals here, because that would be the only case where you'd feel like you would need that. Of course, the thyroid's the same way. People with low thyroid sleep all the time, and this could just be a thyroid weakness that you're dealing with, because I can tell you, as a fruitarian, and this bicyclist, I don't know, as a fruitarian, you just don't get tired. I've had plenty of friends as fruitarians, and they just didn't fatigue no matter what level of exercise they did. It was amazing. So I don't know where this is coming from, other than your weaknesses are exposed during detox. But if this durian fruitarian, if he's been a fruitarian for years and needs 12 hours of sleep, something's wrong there. Because I'm telling you, fruitarianism actually is the opposite. Give me his time, could you tell cheap and good dentists you mentioned in Africa and Costa Rica? CW is going to come back. She wants to shoot some videos on her cancer journey, but she'll tell you in Costa Rica. I'll ask her this, and she'll tell you, because she's the one. She's a an international musician. She's traveled worldwide, very famous in her circles, and and most people, I've corroborated the fact that Costa Rica and parts of South Africa have some considered excellent dentists. I remember when I was in Lisbon, Portugal, that the dentists in Portugal basically kind of laughed at American dentists, thinking how bad, most American dentists are. And so the Portuguese, they love everything. The Portuguese people, I love them. And look at their paperwork. The paperwork in Portugal with all the gold and all the print and the glossy. I love the paperwork in Portugal. What they offer, it's just nice. But anyway, thanks a lot, Helene, for that. I want to kind of get on down the road here. Thank all of you, Julia. This is about the horrifying S1310. I tell you what. I say if we get wind or the FDA is trying to instigate a codex on us, I say that we all start a class action lawsuit against the federal government, specifically aimed at the FDA, but because you have to sue the federal government, and let's go after them. If they think they're going to take more freedoms away, let's go after them. It's time that they get hit with a mega lawsuit. And maybe shut some of those stupid people up a little bit. Put them in their place. Because Americans have had it with our government who thinks they should control everything. You're out of here, boys. If you think you're going to pull this stuff like all the other countries, you got another thing coming. Not going to happen. There's too many of us here now. All right, Life Rejuvenator. Hey, young man, I haven't talked to you in a long time. How are you? Good to see you. Dr. Morris, can you speak about children and what your recommendations would be on the following symptoms? Chest colds, bronchitis, pneumonias, flu, urinary infections, sore throats, acute infections, ear and high fevers. You know what? I think I couldn't have asked a better question. I really loved your question, Life Rejuvenator. Superb question, because there's a lot of great mothers out there, and you've already met Tamara, and a lot of good mothers up in Pennsylvania now working with their children and the herbs, and the results they're having are incredible. I hear so much about the children we have on these programs, and it's just literally amazing what these children are doing and what they're doing academically now, and how they're growing in every way. It's amazing, some of these genetics and how we're pulling these children out of some of these genetic holes that they're in. And I just love that. I think that's our goal in the end here, because most people my age know we don't have long on the planet, and the kids are going to keep going at this level, and souls are going to bring this up. And I think, like the ripple in the water, when you throw a rock, the ripple moves out across the world. That's why it's so important that we, at this point, bring love and awareness and joy and get rid of these narcissistic, constipated dictator-type thinkers, and start bringing, because this ripple affects all creation. And that's why we need to bring that love ripple and the light ripple and the awareness ripple and start bringing up creation, because it affects everything in creation, not just this world, not just this planet, not just this person. Children. That can be a whole separate video on itself, I can tell you. So I'm going to be talking about it, and I'm not going to, well, we'll see what time is. I've had 2 no-shows this morning, so I've got virtually all morning to be with you. Hope you can put up with me a little while. But children, very important. On your tests, I'll give you a clue. There's a protocol for a 2-year-old person. And a lot of you are so enthusiastic that you're going after this kid. You're giving them full bore. And so I did that intentionally, because it's important to understand when you work with children, the younger, the simpler the focus. So you always know through our discussions here that the primary focus in the human body is always going to be on the causative factor of all man's ills, the causative factor of why cells degrade, the causative factor to why we have mutation and genetics. And that causative factor leads you always into the lymphatic system and into the acid side of chemistry, almost always. So, when you hit that system, you're correcting the blood system already, because by changing your diet to fresh fruits and vegetables, you're going to clean up the blood. That's how beautiful the blood loves to clean itself. You'll clean the liver, you do good like this. But where the body has been dealing with elimination, we have a much more serious problem, in my opinion. The GI tract is a mess in humans, just literally a genetic mess in humans. The kidneys are not much better. The kidneys and bladder in most people are a mess. The endocrine glands are a mess. So we're facing a lot of people's bodies in a mess, and we've got to clean up the mess. Well, going through that lymph system, going in that direction, you're touching the GI tract, you're touching the kidneys, you're touching the endocrine glands, and the lymph itself. That's always the focus. So in all children, I start out the younger, the simpler. So I start out on the babies with lymphatic 1 liquid, kidney number 1 liquid, and parasite M. And that would be in all these cases, Life Rejuvenator, that you were asking about. That would be true in pneumonias. That would be true in cold and flu-like symptoms. What are we dealing with? And most of these symptoms you said, let's look at this. Cold and flus, bronchitis, pneumonia. What do we have here? We have a mucus condition, don't we? We have a lot of mucus in the sinuses. We have a lot of mucus in the bronchial trunks, in the wall. Notice it's clear, but what brings this out? We have the lungs are clear. Notice cold air brings out healing crisis, right? Why? Because cold is alkaline. So anything alkaline is going to be one of the triggers. Bacterial overgrowth, of course, yes, going to be a trigger. Certain things are triggers that triggers detoxification. Stress can also be a trigger. Well, the body will put you down if it has to. It cleans you out. And these are cleansing processes that children go through like adults. In all cleansing processes, there's always fevers, or should be, some degree of fever. And I've mentioned this before, but most children, they seem to like the higher fevers, 104, 105. Myself and I, adults, maybe 103 at best, mostly around 101, 100. I like 103 for children and 103 for adults. So if your child is getting a fever, you can, and it's above 103, put a little cold washcloth on the forehead or nape of the neck, or sit them in a little cool a bath or something, but you don't want to stop a fever. Why? What value? Why would the body have a fever? Why would medical doctors try to go against nature in the human body when someone has a fever? What's your largest eliminative organ you have? The largest eliminative organ you have. That's right. That's your skin. You guys are really good. That's your skin. And your skin, of course, is how whenever you're sick, you're assured of sweating. You go into fevers and sweats and stuff. Why? Your body's purging itself. You'll get more out of your body during a healing crisis or a purging than you could maybe for months on raw and on herbs. This is why you want to welcome all these healing crises. Open the door, welcome them in, because you're going to get more work done, more healing, more detoxification during these processes. What value? Why would the body have a fever? Why would medical doctors try to go against nature in the human body when someone has a fever? What's your largest eliminative organ you have? The largest eliminative organ you have. That's right. That's your skin. You guys are really good. That's your skin. And your skin, of course, is how whenever you're sick, you're assured of sweating. You go into fevers and sweats and stuff. Why? Your body's purging itself. You'll get more out of your body during a healing crisis or a purging than you could maybe for months on raw and on herbs. This is why you want to welcome all these healing crises. Open the door, welcome them in, because you're going to get more work done, more healing, more detoxification during these processes. The thing is all these formulas, most of them are crap, milks and all this stuff we're feeding our children. I just cringe when I look at this. And so most of these high-fat, high-protein formulas, which is it's medical consciousness. It's insane. It's not what our species at all goes for. Mother's milk is not high-protein, high-fat. Humans' mother's milk, that's not high-protein and high-fat. You might claim that about a cow, but look how big a cow gets. You know, the size difference and the species difference is considerable, and so big difference between the two species. So you women who have babies have to start making their own formulas and stuff. I've told you about one we're working on, and hopefully some new things are happening to us, and we're going to have some new formulas. But with that said, you want to promote fevers. You want to keep the body around 103. Mucus discharge perfect. We have a 3-lung tea if your child is coughing and there's nothing coming out. We have a little 3-lung tea with fenugreek, as we talked about earlier, mullein, pleurisy root. They all break up hardened mucus. Probably wouldn't be bad for most of you to drink it. I'm starting to add it into my protocols because of the fact that a lot of people have very hard lymph nodes. You know, the longer a fluid is acidic, the more coagulated and anionic it becomes. So that's what we're facing. Miles of a thickened lipid-based fluid that becomes very anionic and very coagulated, and we've got to move that out so your symptoms go away or the tumor has a way to drain out, and it just takes time. And I've had people that, we talked about this before, I've had people that see sediment. Here's another person that just saw sediment. And this is great. And others take months to see sediment. I don't know. You know, I'm at the end of my expertise at this because I don't know. This is where I need your help. I need you guys with all the brains to dig into this and carry my work forward. And let's really rope them in. But your children, urinary tract infections, UTIs, you know, it's just lymph and kidneys. You know, acids burn. That's all I can tell you is acids burn. So every child should have a lymphatic 1 liquid, kidney 1 liquid, parasite M just a little while to clean out any of the funguses and stuff. And endocrine glands would be a beautiful one. You could do kidneys, lymphatics, little parasitic work there for a little while, and endocrine glands, very safe, real beautiful formula for them. As the babies get older, we open up bowel capsules, put it in applesauce. We use applesauce as a medium to use the ground herbs, like the capsule herbs. If I have to use a glandular on a baby that's extreme, then I'm going to pound. I'm going to get a mortal pestle. I'm going to pound up the tablets if I have to, or open up the capsules. We have very serious blood pressure problems in the children. You could use the adrenal liquids. I've used brain and nerve many a times on these children because their autonomics are so low. The adrenals are obviously a place you're going to hit. The kidneys are obviously a place, and the lymph. You don't have to get aggressive with the children because they're in a growth stage anyway. So what you're going to do by just changing their diet is they're just gonna grow. And when you look at a child, you're looking at several growth factors. You want brain, you want muscle and bone development, no question. But on the top of that, you want brain and nerve development. That's essential. And what I love about fruits and berries is they sit at the top. They sit at the top, not greens. Fruits and berries sit at the top of neurological regenerative power. They sit at the top. I threw a case on there for you of the chiropractor's wife to show you in MS why we take people to the top of the mountain with the fruit. And you can regenerate neurons. You can regenerate the nervous system with the fruitarian level. can't with the vegetarian level. It just doesn't happen. I spent most of my life in neurological cases. We're going to throw some up once we can convert them from, VHS. We got to convert that down and get it somehow up on the YouTube for you. But we have the spinal video you can buy for $10 or something like that, $12. I only made it quick for those with spinal cord injuries to show you what you can achieve. But these children, of course, now children love fruits and berries anyway, and you have a perfect way with the children because they love them. And so all the fruits and berries these children need because they're in the brain and nerve development. Remember, there's fatty acids already in these foods. If you break them into the greens, okay, the avocados, use the veggie fruits first because their digestive power for fiber is not quite there, of course. And so I would definitely use the fruit veggies, which would be your avocados and your cucumbers, things that have a little flavor to them and stuff like that. That's all good stuff for children. You can do the coconut milks and, grinding the meat and the milk together and strain it and get a little milk out of that. You can maybe use some almond milk, but you would want to make it. You're dealing with a child here, a living being. You don't want to go in a store and buy pasteurized almond milk. You want to make your almond milk. And we have recipes for you to make almond milk, quite easy. Or you can use some chia seed, hemp seed, but you want to be real careful with too much protein because then you'll set up acidosis even with natural protein. So you have to be real amino acids. You have to be careful that we're not nitrogen beings. We're not high nitrogen beings, not at all. We're carbon beings. So those are some of the things, Life Rejuvenator and all you guys, that you can do with your children. Do expect healing crisis with the kids because they're going to go through them. But I can tell you, we have such great YouTubers. We have a lot of great mothers out there. I've had mothers for years. I've written forwards for books that a lot of mothers are writing out there. And I applaud you all. Write books, keep your diaries. Some of you with extreme problems, keep a diary. Write your journey down and write a small little book. It doesn't have to be real big, no big deal. You got self-publishers right there on the internet. They charge you by the book. That's an easy way to do it. You can self-publish yourself. We'll be glad to give you any pointers that you need, but write yourself some books. People need to read your testimonies and stuff, especially those of you that have been through hell and back. You've got a story here, and if you've been through hell and back, and imagine how many more people are going through the same hell and back that you are, at least going through the same hell, you learn how to find your way back. And it's only a spiritual thing that you help others and share that, because that's what we're here for, is, just to, kind of as a social consciousness. I mean, when you consider the one and the social, there's a reason for that. And we can make the social consciousness a little better. But ear infections and stuff like that, use ear candles. I had a lot of earaches growing up because we were milk drinkers, didn't know it. My grandfather was a cigar smoker and blew Charles Denby cigar smoke in my ear. It's like, boy, I wish you knew about ear candles. They've been around, but yeah, use them if you have to, and clean your little babies out. Absolutely. Thanks for the question. I thought that was an excellent question. Okay, this is Adam. If anyone could tell me where I could ask my question to Dr. Morse. I don't know how that works. I hope somebody helped you, Adam. If not, call in and ask Chris. Helena la 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 la. Does anyone know a clean, cheap source of fruit farmers for Europe? Boy. Thank you, Dr. Morris. My big question is, in the case I don't find the money to pay for 16 safe mercury fillings, let me see, can trap the mercury, let me see, the rest of my body, so the difficult tools such as Charco. Well, the problem here is Charco, bentonite, stuff like that, I suppose, good for the blood, you can clean that a little bit, but I'm real cautious about getting too much of the very elemental stages into the blood. It's not absorbed well through the bowels, and there's a reason for that. Everybody's off into minerals, but if you look at how the body's designed, it doesn't absorb minerals well through the small bowel. And the reason is they can become more antagonistic than they can. Their electrical charges are lower. They can become obstructive. They can coagulate. So taking minerals in a highly acidic environment, I mean, there's enough chemistry in the fruits and berries to outweigh all of this in every sense of the way. We've been fixated on minerals and vitamins, and now in the later years, amino acids. Okay, what else is in these foods? A whole bunch of things, from flavonoids to coumarins to alkaloids to, you name it. So there's so many things, and we're finding the active principles in all these different foods, giving them names to show you what's active. Me, I don't care about the intellectual side of that anymore. It's unimportant to me. But for those that like to play with the mind, there's some excellent herb books out there. A lot of good research and a lot of crappy research. The only true research with herbs isn't taking the chemistry apart like a pharmaceutical company and say, well, that's bad alkaloid. Well, yeah, all alkaloids are really pull on your liver if you want them to, and your kidneys, but they're buffered in herbs. And we've talked about that, the buffering of the chemistry of life. Arsenic is buffered unless we pull it out and bring it forward. So you just never mess with chemistry. Not a smart thing, in my opinion. You want to clean your lymph system. That's the sewer system. Your fruits and your berries and your greens are perfect for detoxing heavy metals out of the body. And I would take continuously horsetail to rebuild my teeth. Horsetail, comfrey, anything like that. But remember, you've got to utilize calcium, and you've got to move lymph. It isn't just about mercury. This is about your lymph system. Most of the problems we tend to blame on mercury or blame on something, but let me tell you, you've got a lymph system, and if you're holding mercury, you're not moving lymph. And that's acidic. So you've got all this stuff that you have to deal with here, and the breaking down of the teeth can be also from the lymph system. Most people have teeth problems from their lymph system, not from bacteria. Finally, dentistry is waking up to that to a certain extent. They're understanding it is not bacteria that's chewing down tooth enamel. Bacteria is only working on decay, on wastes and byproducts. It's the acids. That's why I kind of salute the Minnesota School of Dentistry. I've heard some good things about them. Does anyone know how to recognize ripe fruit? Well, good question. You just got to get used to that. It's like picking watermelons, I'm a little thumper, I'm a little feeler, a little presser, and see if it's too ripe, how that thump sounds, how it rings through, whether it feels like the meat is solid or it's so mushy and hard that there's no resonance to the thumping. I look at all the things, make sure that it's not too hard and it's not too soft. And you have to look at that. Look at the peels, all these. There's just different fruits have different ways. Some fruit you can't tell. What is meant by move your lymph? Moving your lymph, and I've said this before the other day on a video, when I say move your lymph, that means get up on a fruit diet, do some fasting, get yourself on some lymphatic formulas, kidney and adrenals. That's move your lymph. Not rebounding, not running. Move your lymph. Get into that body. Get up on some fruitarian thinking, some fruit fast if you want, and really tear it apart that way. That's only your true way, because if your kidneys are not filtering, and you guys are learning this, and you guys are the only ones in the world that really know this. And you're seeing it firsthand. You're seeing it, and when your kidneys break loose, Lisa, I think I brought this up in the video yesterday. You said whenever I drink this coconut water and grapefruit juice, you didn't say Thai, my heart goes off rhythm. I said to you that sounds like a neurotoxin. That's scary. I think you get your own coconuts and stuff. and make your own, get your own juices out of there. I don't trust anything like that. Sounds like a neurotoxin there. And I did mention to you that combining coconut and grapefruit might create some gas. That could be a gas, but shouldn't throw you off rhythm like that. That sounds like more like a neurotoxin. But for someone to throw you off rhythm like that, that's a neurotoxic effect. But it also shows that how vulnerable you are to neurotoxins. So again, go after the adrenals and build that up. This is one I wanted to yes. This is always in the now. And I wanted to talk to you about her, and I wanted to talk to her about her. And she sent me a picture of her eyes. Is this your name on the back? Sat Darshan. I remember Darshan Singh. I remember, but this is a picture of her eyes. Now, she gives me permission to talk about herself, so I'm going to talk about you, honey. Here's a bit of her history. She was a healthy baby for 9 months, and then developed tonsillitis for the first time. A month or two later, and after another tonsillitis, which was treated with antibiotics, I had a seizure and almost died. Well, that's not good. After that, I had tonsils frequently till my tonsils were removed before I turned 3 years old. Now, you can go back to the colon and to the lymph system with this, obviously. And let's look. I haven't looked. I've only, kind of looked at your eyes like this. I haven't even looked at them, so I thought I would wait and look at them on YouTube. We're given lots of antibiotics and vaccines as a young age. Move those lymphs. And I look at your eyes. You got a lot of lymph. You got to move those lymphs, honey. This eye was very dark. Hard for me to see. Whoever took these pictures. It's a good picture. They need more light. They need to change their armature. Because you see how dark that picture is? Let me show you mine here. See the difference? Mine's a lot lighter. Here's not enough light in this. The picture's up close enough, but there's not enough light in there for me to really... this is really great because I can really see. But I can see enough. Now, I had scoliosis from age 5. Okay, so right here, let's stop right here, guys. We got tonsillitis all the time. Now, we've got scoliosis, so we know there's something in this area that affects the skeletal system, isn't there? What's in the throat area affects the skeletal system. Right on. I tell you, I've met with a lot of you guys. Man, are you getting this. I'm telling you, you guys know things no one else does. Yes, parathyroid gland. Not utilizing calcium properly, and of course with the tonsillitis, you know, sweetheart, your lymph was backed up, and so now your back's pulling to the stronger side. Let me see here. Okay. If I look at your back here, I have upper neck. I have C-spine issues on the left side. A lot of lymph stagnation till I get to the lower back, and then I see the lower back. Particularly the lower T-spine and then the upper L-spine. Definitely kidney. This is the right side, excuse me. Heavy up in the, I'm going to say the whole T-spine is involved on the right side. On the left side, just a little bit of the T-spine, but the upper C-spine. Lower spine on the left side, a little bit on the right side as well. Definitely kidneys are at issue here. You got to clean your kidneys, sweetheart. I don't know which kidney's weaker, the right or the left, because they both are involved. The right side encompasses your right leg, and that also picks up the knee and the upper femur. Not moving your lymph well out of your groin or your right leg. You see a little groin weakness there. See if it'll help me with a little clarity here. Yeah, there's a tad bit of course, the right hip is going to be involved. You're going to feel that coming. And I think there's a tad bit of pancreatic issues involved here. The right arm could be stronger. Getting up into the upper right chest area up here, definitely got to clean this, get this axillary lymph bed cleaned and get this breast cleaned up and strengthened up a little bit. Real important to do that. And I go back to the skeletal system. I go up to the parathyroid, definitely some genetics, not real bad, definitely some genetics. But what controls the thyroid and parathyroid? Matter of fact, what controls all the endocrine glands? The CEO gland, the master gland, the pituitary, and yes, I do see some there. When I get up into your right ear, cerebellum, actually the mastoid here and the ear, definitely some good genetics there. Could affect equilibrium, dizziness, stuff like that. If you got up too fast, maybe. Am I working myself down to this shoulder? Got a weakness in the shoulder, and then into these bronchial trunks here. Got to clean them out a little bit. With this bowel area here, you have some pocketed areas here in the bowel. Slight bit of prolapses here. Not bad. You got some minor thyroid. Clean that lymph out of that thyroid, by the way, and your sinuses in the head area. Around your bowel wall, I don't know if you can see this. But there's this ropey line here around the bowel wall, and that is your interstitial lymphatic constipation. No question you're malabsorbed. You really see it here. So you want to see a lot of this mucus coming out of the stools here. Yes, that orangish hint there around is sulfa drugs. Not heavy, but certainly and trapped in the bowel wall here. So it's going to cause some inflammation. Over here in this splenic flexure here, you're really prolapsed down here or spastic in that splenic flexure, and it gives a weakness that's spreading up into this mastoid ear area. And so that has to be fixed up. And a ballooning in your transverse bowel right about here. It's swollen up a little bit. But you have some parathyroid issues, I think, and so you have a little connective tissue weakness, and so things tend to herniate when pressure or impactions exist there. Same thing going on here, basically. You had a fair amount of lymph to deal with. Sinuses. I think left side of you probably. They're almost the same, but this left side frontal, this whole area, a lot of lymph, a lot of sinuses have to clean out of there, sweetheart, and you'll be good to go there. I get down to the left kidney, adrenals, yes, rectal, yes. Now, I'm going to be real open because you said I could do this on this thing. On the female area, I would douche with the Heal-All-T. I think most of you females should work with that Heal-All-T and to spend a couple of weeks and douche with them. This will help to strengthen the vaginal walls and really clean that. Of course, you're going through the kidneys there lymphatically, but you really need to strengthen up certain female parts and the uterus as well here, honey. Female reproductive form would probably be good, but move those lymphs. Douching with Heal-All-T for a couple of weeks would be right spot on. Picking up again a little bladder weakness on the left bladder wall here, and then a little lower back that goes back to the kidneys here. Pretty good up the back here on the left side till I get up and a little in the T-spine, then get up in the C-spine up here on the left side, and then we're more involved there. But good, strong genes. Now, it seems like a lot when I read all that, but I'm just going over her body. Actually, she's got good genes. She's got strong fibers, pretty good here. A few crypts, lacunas, stuff like that. Not a lot. But basically, bronchioles, lungs need to be cleaned out. Get the kidneys going. Get the GI tract cleaned up. Get the parathyroid up and cooking, because I see the same thing, thyroid, parathyroid on the left side here. See some congestion in the throat yet, so could have a little bit of a sore throat, that sort of thing. But good strong body here, sweetheart. Just got to clean up those bowels a little bit, get that lymph moving, get those kidneys filtering, the adrenals up, and everything else will mend quite well because you're very well. Skin could be stronger and filtering better, no question, but down on the thyroid a little bit. And you'll be good there, sweetheart. Now, big time thyroid, parathyroid, right? Right on, sweetheart. You picked it right up. Good for you. See, I love you guys. You're really getting it. This is what we need the future to be. Informed, smart, and people hitting it. Irregular periods except for between age 20 and 30, which I was on birth control, da-da-da-da-da. Yes, exactly right. Pituitary issues. I see that in your eyes, and you picked it right up. Oh, my God, you guys are... I'm done. You guys come here, run my office for me, because you guys are good. Low blood pressure, weak adrenals, get those up there, of course. The eyes, that's about classic there. Often fainted during my primary school years. Holy crap! And taking iron tablets. Yeah, a lot of medical doctors give toxic iron tablets. Be careful. Bad news bears. But it never got corrected. But I know why. Adrenaline issues. You guys are smart, sweetheart. You're hitting your own self right on. Always in the now. Beautiful. Through this was very measured on my left arm, and now after a couple of months on your herbs, it's left 122/75, right 124/73. Great blood pressure. At least you're up in the 120s. That's textbook. That's perfect. You're building your adrenals up. I love it. Your diastolic, pretty good. You don't want it over 75, really, so you're right there at the max. You might even come down a little bit as you go along here. Eaten heavy meat, dairy diet for 18 years and became vegetarian, but here's more proof of acidosis and not moving lymph, acne, dandruff, difficult sweating, ulcers in mouth. Right on. The acne, dandruff, moving out of here, you show up here, your whole head area needs to drain lymphatically. The bowels are giving a little bit of a block for you. You got to clean up this to get this to clean up, actually. But doing that, you're going down that road. Excellent. Difficulty sweating, that's a low thyroid there. Not enough body temperature to sweat. Ulcers in the mouth, way too acidic. Right on, dear one. Undigested food in the stool. Have been taking my temperature for the last month, which is on the herbs, and it's been moving between 96.6 and 97.8. Mwah. Well, that's what you want. You don't want to be below 97. Actually, you don't want to be below 97.5 if you can help it, but at least in the low 97s would be preferable. 97.8, textbook, perfect. But 96.6 very much on the low side. Now keep in mind, if you're checking your basals, every once in a while you're going to have a dump day. You're going to have a dump day in your blood pressures. You're going to have a dump day in your basal temperatures. Every organ takes a day and says, look, I need a break. And it's just what you see. And it's just like, okay, take a break today. And let me see. I've been taking my temperature, capsule lymph, Calma Plus, thyroid. Unfortunately, they confused the thyroid complex at the border. Confiscated. I've been taking my temperature, capsule lymph, Calma Plus, thyroid. Unfortunately, they confused the thyroid complex at the border. Confiscated. Oh, unfortunately, they confiscated the thyroid complex at the border. Considered medicine and not allowed without MD's prescription. Bones, parasite M. Taken pancreas for a couple of months and now changed to liver gallbladder. Confiscated thyroid complex. Oh, so I think I'm on the right track. You certainly are, dear love. Much love and blessings to you. New Zealand. But definitely I'm going to have them make a folder for you, sweetheart, and I'll always have your eyes here. Here's a comment by Observex10. I have nearly 1,200 friends in my Facebook network. I post all your new videos. Oh, thanks, bro. Thank you, man. Well, and some of your older ones. Oh, thanks. In the past month, I have noticed just a few taking interest, but not the ones I know need it the most. Yeah, and so it goes. Yeah, all of us can sit around a campfire, hold hands and say, and there it goes. And that's it, and so it is. I mean, the world at large, the spiritual people get together, and this is our conversations. Working on humanity and the upliftment and the awareness of people and helping folks that are just not open yet and that are still sleeping, and a lot of it. Sometimes tough love is necessary, and sometimes a lot of love is necessary. And most of you are pretty perspective. I've watched you and how you deal with other people, so you're very perceptive. My hair has been gone since I was 21, and I am now 54. Now, how long does it take to get it back? Not bad. I've seen people like that get it back within 3 or 4 months if I stay on fruit and fast. Get upper circulation. I guarantee you, it'll work faster for you if you clean up the bowels, you work on your lymph system, and you use upper circulation. You're going to notice your darkening of the hair around the nape and the sides and first. And then you'll start to see some sprouts. But definitely, also watch your take on colonics. 1 or 2. Mitch Moses, thank you for answering my questions. And John is coming back in to show how his hair came back. Yeah! Well, John, where the heck are you? You know, he's supposed to come in here. I can't make him. But he is a great story. Cancer all through him and all that. What I want to know is if my hair has been gone since, you know what? The body can regenerate. I don't care how old you are. But it does show something very serious, Mitch. And that is without hair that long, and you understand that generally acids and the lymph is the culprit here, that means that you were born with pretty good kidney and adrenals and a lymph system backed up. So I can, I straighten that up. Get your lymph moving, get the bowels cleaned up, get blood flowing up in that hair, and you'll get new hair growth. And it'll save you from your 54. It'll save you from, honey, where I parked the car. Because if you look at balding, and you look at dementia, and you look at Alzheimer's, This is a resubmission of a question I probably didn't get to. Jules, loving all the new vids. Oh, thanks, man. I especially love the one where you talk about music. I love Beethoven and Enigma. Oh, I love them. Yeah, Enigma really, in a meditative state, can really do some flying with Enigma. I love that, man. The older stuff. The new stuff, he kind of going. But some people, get that creativity out and hard for them to get it back. I see that in several groups like that. They run their scan. A good friend of mine, Shania Twain, I'd love to see her come back and hit it hard. I'd be interested to see her first album, especially without Mutt. Let's see how she takes off. I find it amazing how composers like Chopin, without any lyrics, can tell such beauty. Yeah, Chopin, I mean, that's why, reincarnation karma. I mean, and not just that, it's just that when I look at you guys, I'm looking at powerful souls that are so much more than just a physical body. And I think due respect, we all must respect each other as these magnificent, beautiful spiritual beings that just kind of got our way lost in some ways. And I try to see everyone that way. Sometimes I give some tough love here, but I still see everyone as a beautiful soul that some of them just get a little waylaid a little bit. Which is, who cares anyway? I mean, that's creation. I'm the creator. I want to see everything. I want to create everything, the ups, the downs, the backwards, and the forwards. And that's just what God is. But how interesting is it that the closer to the Godhead one gets, the more ecstasy, the more love. And I don't even want to use it as a word because it isn't a word. It isn't an emotion. Love is not an emotion. Divine love, it manifests, exudes, flows through, is consciousness. And I've always tried to, I've given different lectures through the years, and every time I'd give on love, it's hard to explain to the average person the difference between personal love and divine love. And the fact that divine love is an unconditional love for everything. Like the Rumi love I was telling you about. Jalaluddin Rumi, a beautiful poet. But at his story of his love for God is an intense story, which I dig intense stories because my love for God is intense, but of a God that is, and I only use the name because there's no name you can put on something that is this incredible, that is the producer of all things. I mean, it's just, there's no words to that. And the closer to that Godhead you get when you're stripped of these more finite bodies, there's just no words. I mean, it's just, and so when you see duality, you do see the positive and the negative, and some of the most horrendous negative things you've ever seen. Yet, as you get closer to the top of this pendulum of duality, the oneness begins to take place. The recognition of all things being from the one. The recognition that the alone state, and what that means to the Supreme Being, but also why is their creation. It's all kind of cool stuff. Someday we'll have another spiritual video, but I'm so busy doing these that I'm trying to interface that a little bit. Especially the one where you talk about me. Yes, I love all that. Your parasite is kicking my butt. Parasite M, huh? I wonder how. I had major rash hive reactions, as you should say. Woohoo! I am resubmitting a question that seemed to have gotten lost. Oh, I apologize, Jules. I'm sorry about that. I am wonderful when I can start training it. Oh, I'm wondering when I can start training again for martial arts and weightlifting. Oh, I love martial art, man. Spent a lot of years in that myself. I carried a bag around for years. I love to kick and work out on a bag. I haven't done it in years. I've been doing more garden work and putting fences up, carpentry work, stuff like that. But I do love the martial arts. You know, I wouldn't miss Kung Fu when it came out. I wouldn't miss an episode. I had all the episodes of Kung Fu taped, loaned it to a friend, and he never gave them back. But boy, I would, no matter what. I'd go into a department store when Kung Fu was on to watch it, because I was living out in the woods, part of it. So I'd go in and find a department store and sit and watch Kung Fu. Love the philosophy. Love anything that's etheric, that broadens you. Man should seek that. If he seeks anything, to broaden, to feel good, to give more love, more respect, more humility. All these things are part and parcel to consciousness and growth and seeing all things as one. Therefore, you wouldn't hurt anything. But at the same time, you've got wars and you've got the other side of creation. So, to battle we go. That's why I like the Michael movie, because we can play at battle and then laugh about it over a glass of champagne or what. Now, I'm wondering when I can start training. If you get sediment in your urine, have at it. If you're not getting sediment in your urine and you're on a fruit diet or a raw food diet and you're taking the herbs, then I would hang on a little longer till I knew my lymph was filtering well, and then all the activity creating acidosis will have its route out. And we talked a great deal about this. And some of you have written in and have demonstrated this, that during activity with kidneys not filtering, it can have a negative impact on you. So just be smart about it's all. I mean, you can go ahead and do it, but I'm just saying, if you're hurting out there, be very careful about exercise if you're hurting. Get time to rest. Let your adrenals relax, let your lower back relax, let your kidneys relax, and let things start filtering. You're putting in the chemistry to help it filter. You don't need the activity. The activity just breeds more. It starts to change. Remember, we talked about the adrenal glands and your adrenalins, your epinephrine, your norepinephrine. Those are needed in activity. So just remember that when you increase your activity, you're shutting down your acetylcholines and dopamines, and you're increasing your adrenalins. Well, you're basically shutting down elimination to get for activity. You're putting the power of movement of urine and stool to the muscles. And therefore, you're going to have more ability and agility to move and to deal with whatever you have to deal with. So, contrary to what a lot of people think, rest is an excellent way to get well. And I told you about that lioness who was bit by a cobra. Remember, her two cubs went down, were eaten by the hyenas, and I think it was National Geographic filming this. What a great film, because these guys stayed in this little hut even while this female lioness was down on the ground. It was like 3 or 4 or 5 days later. Remember, she got up after being bit by a cobra, which would kill anybody, shrugged it off, and walked off. So while she was in a deep kind of coma, the body cleaned itself, took care of it, got her up, and took off. That's cool stuff. And it just shows you the power the body has at rest of getting itself well. So just keep some of those little things in mind. Do follow your inner guidance with activity. If you feel like you have to move, you have to exercise, well, go ahead. Listen to that inner guidance. But keep remembering to get those kidneys filtering, get sediment in that urine, and you guys are down the road. I would eat some fats and building foods that like almond, coconut, yogurt. And things like quinoa. But do these foods counteract on the kidney and lymph formation? Because they are heavier foods. Well, I don't know about the almond coconut yogurt. I mean, in a life, where you're making that yogurt, fermenting almond milk and stuff, right? Or coconuts as well. I'd say that would be a treat. That would be something one would do if you're not detoxifying, that sort of thing. So, love and aloha to you, Julia. Thanks you so much for the question. So you could do that. It's a treat, but I wouldn't make it a staple. Dano, hey man, how are you? DM, I'm so happy that there is someone on this planet that is fearless. Ooh. Well, you're part of that with me, Dano. We're a fearless group of people, aren't we? Well, if we don't stand up, things are right on that edge, You can only push the human consciousness so far. It's obvious when you look around that governments have pushed too far, taken freedoms too much, and now it's butt-kicking time. But, you just have to stand up. If you don't, it'll become a prune. Man will kill himself just in his own ignorance and unawareness. And I don't know. In the scheme of things, maybe. I don't know. Thanks for you, Dano. I appreciate it. Thanks for giving us a straight talk. I hear stories from the friends and loved ones about their experience with the medical community, and it makes my head twist around. I know. And I tell you, it's getting out there more and more and more, because more people are talking about their experiences allopathically, and we're literally full of people that have horrible stories. And it has tainted my ability to be a little compassionate with the allopath. So those medical doctors that are watching this, you'll have to give me some leeway, but you're invited anytime to come sit with me for a while and enjoy the view. I've had several medical doctors come in and sit with me, and you'll see the work of your friends, and it's not good. There's some great medical doctors out there, and there's a whole bunch of quacks that think they're the cat's meow that can't do anything but hurt people. And this sort of things just got to change. We've got to start changing this planet. We're at the end. We can't. We have to. There's no other time. So some of us older people would rather die and hopefully make a good change for the planet. Whatever it's going to take, it's going to happen. And this country's next on the agenda of getting its butt kicked. This government, look at Congress, a 7%, 12% approval rating. If I was a congressman, I'd hang my head and get out there and say, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I make you happy? No, they don't care. They're in I won't go there. The knowledge that we're learning is thank you. I thank you, Dano. How you doing? You get any hair on that head yet? I want hair on that head, Dano. Remember Upper Cirque. 1-3 nice. Stop caring. Better for you and for her. When you tell people to direct what they have to do, most times yeah, I know it. That's common reaction to this, to them. I know it. On a statement, that's what I would do with someone I do not know. That will. But if my brother gets serious trouble, no way would I react like that. I don't know what we're talking about there. 132. Mickey Midnight. Are you a Mickey Mouse lover? I'm a Mickey Mouse lover. I like to go camping at Disney World anyway. It's a lot of fun things to do. Just another world and another world and another world. I used to love some yogurt and cheese and butter and a bit of milk. I do live on my own, so it may have made it easier, but from the beginning of the year, I have completely dropped it. Yeah, Mickey Midnight. Good man or woman. Also, I dropped bread, rice, potatoes, and pasta. Good job, my friend. Good man. Well, I had to do that same thing. We all have to do that same thing. Good job. None of it came back into the house anymore. Yeah, surprisingly, I have not really missed it. So for me, not difficult. Just made sure I had plenty of nice fruits and salads. So as the doc says, leave it. It doesn't need to be that difficult. Thanks for telling the folk. I really agree with you. Clean out the house, and then when you get the munchies, there's nothing to munch on but the fruit. Red Chicao. Ooh, nice bananas. Is that a banana you got in that picture, or are you just glad to see me? Study to be a healer in Sydney, Australia. Yeah, go Sydney. Stuart, Red Chicao. I have been watching your videos for a while and now reading. I notice a lot of people who are watching. I talked to a lady watching. She's not a subscriber. She's in the forest looking out. Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for observing these videos and taking time to work on your own health issues and spirituality. Don't always have all the answers, but we sure got a bunch of them. And you strap them on and get yourselves healthy. Have fun with this. I mean, this should be a fun thing. You're growing, you're learning, you're seeing, you're knowing, you're experiencing. I mean, what else is there? Life is kind of boring on this planet. Get some God juice running through you where your consciousness goes, woohoo! And you're just really, whoa! I mean, just the love, the empowerment, the ecstasy, the joy is incredible. Now, I have been wanting to see. She wants to change the career to healing and helping people. I don't think there's a more worthy career that you can do. And in the time where people are suffering, this is the perfect time to enter into the healing arts. Particularly with this kind of attitude, particularly with your all's kind of understanding, you're going to get a lot of things done. You're going to build your reputations. You're going to help people, and you're actually going to have people have remedy. You're actually going to have people that cure themselves of about everything under the sun, and it's a good feeling to see that. It's a good feeling to help people that have suffered so long, to pull them out of that. I think that's what we're here for. Time of suffering is done. We are going to fight these negative forces. We're in one realm. We're going to stand up and be the God people. My two motivations are that, one, I am very good and get paid well for what I do in banking, minimal satisfaction and joy. Possible. My father has type 2 diabetes and recently had both legs amputated above the friggin' knees. Oh, poor fella. Therefore, I'm looking to seriously study natural healing somewhere in Sydney, Australia, part-time for the next 3 to 6 years, and then move full-time into healing. I'm not looking to earn any big money from it, just live a simple, happy, and focused life helping people. Why are you taking so long to learn? You don't need to take that long to learn to help people. I can help you a lot quicker, and you won't waste your time in some of these schools learning stuff you'll never use. Get yourself an herbal degree and take off, and we'll show you how to heal all these people up there, Stuart. Do you have any knowledge of the schools down here? You know what? There is a good herbal school in Australia. The Australian Herbal College, I think it's called. Now, I don't know too much about them. I've never ordered their coursework, But certainly you could do that. You can take our coursework, gives you detoxification, especially because in the final analysis, we're detoxification specialists. We're the ones that know the best on how to get you well. We're the ones that know detoxification and health. And that's what your gig is. Forget about diseases, because you'll bump heads with the Olapass, and who wants to bump heads with the insane? No, you want to set up a practice and help people, and you don't need to have years of study. So, work on yourself. Learn it, understand it, feel it, wear the robe, because if you don't make good healers. You make good healers when you know you walk the walk. You wore the robe. And I respect that. I want to talk to someone that's been there. I want to talk to someone that works with people and gets results. I want to see that. I don't want to see theories, double-blind studies. That's all crap. You know what that is? Those are excuses. Those are excuses where you're hiding, and you're hiding from reality and true healing. What scares states and what scares governments about truth and proper healing? What scares the FDA about truth? Why? They've allowed so much. These guys have created so much. I feel half of the FDA people deserve to go to jail, and I think they will in time if they're not careful, because what they're doing is allowing toxic killer drugs and trying to suppress the herbal industry, the raw milk industry. They're trying to take that away, but allow a killing, a level of killing on drugs and stuff. You guys are, you're in serious trouble, and that's why you're trying to keep the hush us up, because we're a threat to your freedom because of what you've been doing to everyone else's freedom. So, forgive me, but I get a little passionate. You guys are seeing more of me now through these months. But I tell you what, I need a little R&R in the God worlds, because it's just sickening down here. Some of the states of consciousness of some of these government people and the government, what are they thinking? They're so out of touch. And this is all over the place. This is in New Zealand. To make laws like that, everywhere I see, they're starting to try to get these little laws passed to restrict people's rights and freedoms. And it's coming from the World Health Organization. It's coming from the world bankers. It's coming from those that want to control the medical community, just licking their chops. Ugh. Forgive me, guys. All right. Now, father with type 2 diabetes, and he lost his legs. Guess what isn't filtering well? What causes type 2 diabetes? The adrenal glands, right? The adrenal glands control sugar metabolism, hence hypo or hyperglycemia, right? So what also, so now we have a blood sugar problem. We know we have adrenal gland problem because that's the source, the causative factor where we find sugar metabolism factors. So what else do we find? A multiple amount of problems, because the adrenals produces over 50 steroids and a whole bunch of neurotransmitters. So we're going to find problems in your father's nervous systems. We're going to find problems with your father's prostate, his lower back. We're going to find a lot of problems. And of course, what we found is gangrene. What do we find? We not only found sugar metabolism problems, we found extreme acidosis, didn't we? And we found a lymph system that didn't work well, so we found gangrene. You didn't mention it, but that'd be the only reason you'd lose your legs, I think. Therefore, I'm looking to seriously study. Yeah. Okay, Stuart, head on, my friend. Peach Treeful, I think I've already hit this about your stomach and the pain in your stomach. If you didn't review it, it's on the last video or two backwards, sweetheart. Get that pain out of that stomach. Slippery elm marshmallow, everybody should have that as a first aid kit. Keep you some first aid herbs and stuff like that. Parasite hemp, great first aid. Lymphatics, great first aid for snake bites, spider bites, anything like that. Keep the kidneys around to get that going. Cayenne pepper's a good first aid just to have. There's so antispasmodic bleeding formula, stops internal bleeding like that. Good formulas, antispasmodic for seizures, convulsions, cramping, pain. So there's a lot of good formulas that you can keep in the medicine cabinet, so to speak, and have for first aid. And help you with this. But slippery elm and marshmallow, you can go out and get a fresh aloe plant, strip it out and eat it, that or juice it up. That's definitely going to be a real good soother. I'd rather have fresh raw aloe than to go out in the store and buy aloe. We sell aloe, but nothing is like that fresh stuff. But you could do that. Any soothing tea, maybe chamomile, but really marshmallow and slippery elm has a much more healing factor to that. You could be experiencing a healing crisis where you have a bona fide weakness in the stomach, or you're doing too many truly acid fruits that are not alkaline enough. Can be several things. Resubmitting your questions. Organic heart. I loved your picture. I wrote to you some time ago about my brother who has schizophrenia. I did answer this one, honey. I remember you and remember this. Yesterday he revealed to me he cannot hold his stools if he out and about. I wrote to you some time ago about my brother who has schizophrenia. I did answer this one, honey. I remember you and remember this. Yesterday he revealed to me he cannot hold his stools if he out and about. He, however, manages to pass it into his clothes. It only happens if he is out of the house. He says he notices this starting to happen only about 6 months ago. He is only 22 years old and has been suffering from schizophrenia since he was 18. Do you think this may be a thyroid or parathyroid issue? Yeah, you're good thinking there. Definitely could be partly a parathyroid issue, but I'm going to say with the schizophrenia and all this that we're looking neurologically at this. Now, the parathyroid would have been a good take. You want to check that too. That would be more depression, stuff like this. I think you're really back at the adrenal glands with schizophrenia. I really am. But of course, you could be the twins. You could have both, like a bipolar type of situation where you have the parathyroid and the thyroid and the adrenals going on here. But you're going to make them healthy anyway, so you're going to go that route. I do the new brain and nerve formula, strengthen that nervous system, because when he's stressed, he goes. It's like, boom, everything goes. He's stressed, everything is. So he has very low nerve function, very weak adrenal glands, might even have neurotoxicity in him. So could have got a hold of neurotoxins back at 18, flipped him right into that. Definitely, I think your brother's born with the weak adrenals and kidneys. No question. Move his lymph system, that sort of thing. Pop up the parathyroid. You have nothing to lose doing that anyway. Could you please let me know your opinion on this? I think his stools are not very solid, mostly runny. Would this be an issue with the pancreas? Good question. It could be the equal with the pancreas or the liver. So it wouldn't hurt to clean those up anyway, would it? So I definitely clean up the liver. It's in our first 2-week kit, but certainly you can use a liver formula, clean up his bowels. But one of those two, you're right on. Oh, you guys are so good. Good way. RASA. RASA? Also, you mentioned on how you could help people cancel out karma. Could you please elaborate on that? Thank you. I have a few friends, but I'll say this. In working out your karma, except for those that do lend some help at times, I'll say this. Start working in the now as much as possible. And stop creating, stop wanting, stop desiring, and let the moment be the moment. You'll be supplied with everything you need and plenty more. You will stop creating anything new. Therefore, you won't extend. Don't have an opinion. It is what it is. All these things bring you closer to the Godhead, because all these things you wouldn't expect God to do, would you? And you wouldn't expect that, because judging one over another, and yet we all come from the Godhead, wouldn't be something you would expect of the Supreme Being, now would it? So you yourself have to get in that position to where you yourself don't judge. Doesn't matter. Now, I'm hard on a lot of people here on the site. There's no question about it. Because I'm in my Godhead, I'm in creation. We're warriors in creation. We're not doves, we're warriors. We're here to make a change. And we're here to make a change because of the duality aspects of creation. And there's one being that filters this out. And this one being is responsible for taking the God-conscious state and dividing it into two. Hinduism, you study three currents. Okay. But in duality, you can look at basically the two, although the third is in there. We talk about it in Christianity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. You've got Ram, Vishnu, Shiva in Hindu work. You've got these forces. Anywhere you look, you'll see them named and talked about, these currents that are effectual to creation. But consciousness doesn't have effectual duality. It isn't involved in separation, differences. It's the one. And when you let go and you quit creating, you quit playing in the field of dreams, or in the candy land, or in the toy store of creation where we can play with all kinds of things. Oh, this was another beautiful card I got. Is that beautiful? Sorry, that is just gorgeous. Talked to her yesterday. Great soul there. But the beauty of it, we can go, oh, look, here's a card with two lovers there. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Just you can feel the love from this card. But that's in worlds of separation, because as one, they are God. God loving itself. And so, in unwrapping your karma, don't create new. Let the old burn itself off. Can you see Keiko the dog on one of these YouTubes? Oh, Coco. I'm going to bring my little dog in. Sometime I'll take you out to some of my gardens and film them. There are more flowers. Well, I'm just a little east here in Florida on the west coast, so I get a little cold here. I can't even grow bougainvilleas, and I've spent a couple $1,000s in bougainvilleas. I mean big bougainvilleas, the reds, the whites, the purples, the oranges, the pinks. Then I've had them all around my fences, and the cold got them all. I had the most beautiful coconut trees, full grown, bought them straight away, coconuts hanging on them, lined the path to the house, all gone. I've lost so much beauty that I only seek things that are cold hardy now, because I've lost so much money, and I love tropical plants, and tropical and cold are not harmonious. I will show you Coco. He's a cute little thing. I wonder who you are. UCAN, you can do this. Yes, I love your name. You can do this. Hey, this is as of 12/21. We're up to 2,763 subscribers. That's good. I'd like to be 40,000 like Dan the Man, but I'd rather have 3,000 of you great souls that are kicking butt. Thought everyone would get a kick out of this. Our local grocery store is giving a free gallon of milk with your flu shot. Ow! Oh, every time I walk by this, I almost throw up. Miss Kay Rankin. Oh my God, forgive them, Father, for they do not know. Oh my God. Let me give you a toxic flu shot, and by the way, I'm going to clog your lymph system so you can't clean the toxicity out that I'm going to put in you. And I'm going to clog your lymph system even more. Forgive them, Father, they do not understand. Bo, amazing videos. You like that video about cancer, Bo? I was a little apprehensive of showing that to you guys. I thought I was a little bit raw, but you know, God, I still say, if you guys sit here with me, you would have that attitude too. After a while, you're just pulling your hair out and screaming. It's like frustrating to see these beautiful souls. But you have to understand that, you know, these are just bodies, and we come and go, and okay, You see everything as God anyway, right? You can't destroy anything really. You got atoms, you have consciousness. You can't really destroy that. You can destroy forms. God bless you. God bless you, Bo. You're a beautiful woman. Dr. Morris, thank you for making this video specific for diseases. Oh, thank you, Juice Man. I think they're going to be good that way. And I'll have a whole bunch of those too. We'll go down, we'll try to cover every single thing we can. If you guys come up with something you want covered, we'll do one on it, you know. And I think it is easier. All these questions are long, I know that, but it takes me a while to get into explaining them. And I think that's why I looked at this, and why I'm backing up so much is because it takes me so long to explain some of this. So I'm hoping that I'm getting a lot of coverage here with some of your other questions, even though I'm not personally addressing them. But I personally appreciate every one of them. So it's just been a time thing. Hopefully, the future, we're doing some things. I want Jennifer to start counseling like she needs to. We're doing things to free her up, and she needs to be the head counselor here. I can't keep booking us 5-6 months away. It's just not work. It's too much, and we need to set up more counselors. So that's what we're doing, and I was going into the club thing, and it'll be more helpful, I think. So the time won't be so far apart. A lot of people don't need to see me, because a lot of people come see me. They don't have hardly anything wrong with them. And you guys can handle them. I don't need seeing all of that. Just doesn't work out here. Robert, can you talk about hypnosis? What are your thoughts? Great vids. Oh, thanks, man. Three enigmatic on 3. Man, that's a tongue twister, man. I tell you what, I studied a lot of spirituality. My favorite was Paul Twitchell and J. Krishnamurti, 2 people I love dearly. Trained for years out of body with Paul Twitchell. Pedar Zask is his spiritual name. Paul Twitchell and J. Krishnamurti, 2 people I love dearly. Trained for years out of body with Paul Twitchell. Pedar Zask is his spiritual name. He's out of body now, so he's known as Pedar Zask. I love him. One of the great things he helped teach people was, and especially when it comes to hypnosis, but opening yourself up to the subconscious of other people. You can have, as a physician, you can have all probably good intentions, but you've got a subconscious part of you and the practitioner that is beyond the comprehension of the conscious mind. There's so much more to life, and there's a part of you, of course, the soul is the ultimate. But then when you start coming down and taking on bodies, you have quite a vision still until you start restricting down to the causal body. Then you start moving away from the oneness of cosmic consciousness or the universal mind. Now you're in the causal world. That's the Akashic records. Now you're in duality. Now you have a form. Now you take on a shape, and now you move forward down to the astral or emotional worlds, and then you take on a physical body. So now you have a physical body, you have emotions, the driving force, then you have the past, present, you have the memory, and then the mind is always the powerhouse of the mental, the id, the ego, the causal, that powerhouse known as pure mind, where all our minds come out of. That's why I can think a thought just like you can at the same time. If we're all working together in the mental worlds, we all don't even have to talk because we're all viewing the same thoughts. So you just see how that is. And then, of course, there's the soul who is outside of creation. To look into creation, it can't move itself as an infinite being into a finite situation. So it has to take on finite bodies to look through. But you can withdraw that attention, we call that travel. And it appears like you're traveling. And we'll get more into that. But Paul Twitchell was talking about the fact, and I see this all the time, and I know a lot of, shall we call, counselors that hypnotize their people and take advantage of them. Yeah, I've seen dentists that would put a female under, then fondle her. I've seen all kinds of things. Emergency room docs definitely going to do some breast exams. I've seen all kinds of things out there that disgusted me. But that's life on the planet. We are very naive as a race, especially when it comes to the medical community. Just a bunch of people. So, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. Oh, so here's Girl Gone Vegan. Did I answer that? Oh, don't hypnotize yourself. Don't let anybody into your subconscious. Don't let anybody into your space unless you know them, you love them, and they respect that space, and they won't leave a carbon print, so to speak. Girl Gone Vegan, Kelly Girl, Sea and Sediment. Go, baby, go, honey. It's like Victoria mentions in her book, 12 Steps to the Raw. You need to accept others. Good job, 132. You're doing good, 132, and I love the lemons. What a vibrant, I love yellow anyway, but what a vibrant, just a vibrant look that the lemons have. They're a powerful look. The color, the feel, it's just incredible. These foods are incredible. Dan Oman just had someone tell me that you will go into septic shock if you don't use antibiotics. Well, let me see here, Dano. Just had someone tell me that you will go into septic shock if you don't use antibiotics or medications when you have a fever. Well, I need a drink. God, I wish that was Long Island iced tea. Just kidding. But, this is the oh my God, the stupidity of this person. I had to laugh, and I have to laugh too, Dano. And then I explained body's lymphatic system and the role of the kidneys and adrenals. I explained that a fever is a natural healing force taking place to rid the body of excess mucus. She didn't seem to get it. Amazing how the medical community brainwashes these people with their scare tactics. Dano, that's a good one. That's a good one. You're going to septic shock if you don't stop the fever. My God, this person should hand in her degree and probably go find something else to do. Probably work on a computer or something. Man, some of you medical doctors, you got to think outside of the box because your education sucks. No offense. Try naturopathic education. I think you'll love it. Sleeping well. Ooh, this is a new one. Are you new? Monkeys D. Oh, wow, this was a good video. Oh, thanks. Thanks. I love the eye, the third eye, the Tishra Till, the eye of God. Isn't there the eye on the pyramid in our money? Isn't there like the Masonic thing? Ooh, should mention that, I guess. Miss Raw Flower. That is such a cool picture. That reminds me of that movie with all the that looked like that. I don't know why I can never remember that movie. I love that movie. It was good. Pante Dynamos, I love your work and your videos. Have your book. It is amazing. Thank you, Miss Raw Flower. You're quite an intriguing. To have that, you're an intriguing person. I'll have to find out more about you. This series was my best Christmas gift ever. Oh, man. Thank you so much, the Great Lymphatic System. Did you guys like the lymph system? I hope I did that one okay. I never know. I just take off talking. That's why I never plan anything. I just, you see me raw. That's the way I am. I don't want to think about anything ahead of time. Just give it to me. Let's look at it. What was it doing? I don't look at people's charts ahead of time. I don't have time. So whatever I'm handed in the moment, that's what we work on. So you see me in the raw. That's it. Thank you so much. AMRADIO. AM Radio 777. Late night on the Sunset Strip. Oh, Rosanna. Hey, sweetheart. Oh, good. You like the lymphatic system. Good, 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 good. Frankly, there is no one like you. Love the great energy and compassion. Thanks, sweetheart. Dr. Morris, thank you so very much. Loves and hugs to you, Rosalind. Good lady, you know. Thank you so much for watching, taking your time out in your day to watch these. I'm thankful for all of you that take your time out. Blessed are you guys. And, you know, the power of the God force be with you, basically. And let's go kick some butt and get some people healthy and get some people with smiles on their faces again. That's what I want to see. Jim. Shouldn't your urine be clear if you drink a lot of water? It will be if you drink too much water. But you're not there to flood the system because you can't truly get rehydration with water. So what are you doing? Yeah, you can thin out the urine till you don't see any sediment. Absolutely. This is SD Derek 88. Hey, young man. I am unable to express my love and gratitude in words. Well, you don't have to because I feel you. I love you too. I have been with you since you started. Oh, you've been hiding. Aha. The long short of it is 31 years asthma since age 2, bro. Oh, man. Lots of inhalers, corticosteroids, antibiotics, shots, etc. I feel for you, bro. Remember, kidneys and adrenals, kidneys and adrenals. You fall right into the adrenals, the autonomic nerve weakness affecting your lungs there. Probably got some nerve rings in your eyes. Abused drugs and alcohol for 15 years. Bodybuilder. That's a long time, though. Bodybuilder diet for the last 10, high protein supplements and pro hormones. Whew! Boy, you hit your body hard, didn't you? Fully committed to doing what it takes to undo. Good man. I started to detox in the middle of this year, 2012. Detox is my passion. Yeah! Love you already, man. Use some of your herbs and tea with Master Cleanse. Cool. I want to forge this path and be a light for others here in the Midwest. And we are very sick here. I know. Damn, we're sick all over the place, guy. I mean, people are hurting all over the place. I mean, just look at this site and the people that are hurting. People are hurting everywhere. People come in and they talk about, well, my mom. My mom's got this and this and this. My dad. My brother. He's got this and this and this. My sister. Look at my cousin. And it's just, look around and we're sick. We got to get this compassion for others going here. We're so cold. You know what? If I was president of the United States, I'd make a law, first of all, that no one wears suit and ties. Unconstipate yourself. Everybody line up for a colonic. I want to forge good, man. Any suggestions? Much appreciated. Ordering the correspondence certificate and will be in your school. Derek. Head on, forge on, learn all you can, and start working with others. You've been through a little bit of hell. You know they really wrecked your adrenals here, and then with the high proteins, the kidney killing, and you know all of this. So yeah, rebuild the kidneys, get those adrenals up, get the autonomic up, get the lungs cleaned out if you have congestion in there. Neurologically, you'll get well with the asthma, which is the beginning of the COPDs, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And we should do a video on lung conditions, including the COPDs and stuff. We really need to do that. So maybe this will be the next one we do, my friend. You're heading down the right path. You learn all you can. Take yourself an herbal degree here and there. Inexpensive, and the knowledge is good. And because you're learning how to rebuild, regenerate, and there's nothing any greater than that. So you're doing well, my friend. Keep on, hang on. You need your help. I'm always here for you. You got me here. I'm for you. And I love people like you. Good man. Work yourself back out of it. Good man. Ladies, there's a good man right there. KOSAI 19. Forget the movie Aliens. I got far more scared as you listen to the symptoms in this video because nearly every one of them I've had. Yeah. I hope that I can reach you guys and help all of you that are suffering, because that's the only thing that makes this worth it, is to help you guys. What else is worth it? Money, paper, non-negotiable instruments, Federal Reserve notes. Are you kidding? we're lucky they're going to be worth anything 10 years from now. If they're 5 years from now, look at the euro, which I think is all planned to do one world currency. I mean, you saw little inklings of that. All we have to do is drop the markets here in these countries, and everybody's going to be screaming for a world currency. Let's try a world currency. I hear it. I hear the bells tolling now. And nobody can be honest with people. I got 4 more. Yeah, love that. Oh, our time's cooking on, and look, I still got a bunch here, eh? Root canal. Let me see. This was one I wanted to address. Intense emotional stress. Let's see. This is from no name. Let me see. Period of intense emotional stress, horrible skin acne, which persists to this day. You get your kidneys and your adrenals going, young woman. Get that clean. Is this a woman or a man? Get your lymph moving and clean up that skin. I don't care how hard you got to dig. Get that skin cleaned up there. Constant fatigue. Okay, there you go with the adrenals. Obviously, the connecting link. Then you got brain fog. Now, you could have high candida problems. Yes. We won't blame everything on candida, but certainly you have high lymphatic problems if you have this much skin problems, and that's going to suppress brain function. So between your lymph and probably heavy candida problems with the adrenals, yeah, they're taking their toll on you. The brain fog was particularly debilitating. All right, so get that lymph moving. Then a year ago, I went to a naturopath who diagnosed me with hypothyroidism and adrenal fatigue. Good guess. Check your basals, see what they are. This made a lot of sense considering my situation. Good deal. But this is how this naturopath took on the situation. I was doing cortisol pill, B12, DHEA, XX injections, along with, when a naturopath steps up to this level of stupidity and does these sort of things, that's a medical doctor wannabe, meaning they're never going to learn how to cure anything. Sorry. I was introduced to you through Dan about a year ago. Okay, you got the book. Thank you, dear one. The past 6 months, I have seen an extreme improvement in my health. I think the main factor has been that I have finally able to detox, to relax. I have no longer have stressors in my life. She's been on Raw. My problem is this. September 2010. I was eating a corn chip and suddenly I felt a shooting pain through my left lower molar. And he goes on talking about this trouble with the tooth, more sensitivity, very sensitive to acids, of course, that sort of thing. And I believe I had exposed nerve. Yeah, so do I. But I am not sure what to do about this. And she's been to dentists, and they can't find anything, which is strange to me. So it's in there. You've got, you've got acid on the nerve. There's no question about that. If you don't want to have a root canal, then you really got to detox deeply. I probably try your mouthwash of Heal All Tea, holding it in your mouth and spitting it out. Don't make it too heavy, though, because you'll feel the astringent effect too strong, maybe. Make it about 1 teaspoon per 3 cups of water. And, wash your mouth out a lot. Gargle with it if you want, but hold it in your mouth and let it absorb into your gums and stuff. See if that helps you. At the same time, you could use, I just went right out the door. Probably not important to use it anyway, but we use like cloves and things like that if you can find the nerve. But I was thinking of something else here besides cloves. I know you guys are going to get it, I really detox your lymph system because it's your lymph system that's causing this. So you want to just move on that and see if you can find remedy. If not, it sounds like a root canal. Even though the dentist didn't find it, it sounds like a typical root canal I've had in the past. Dr. Morris, the cancer video was the best. Oh, you thought that was the best, huh? Sudden consciousness. Nice to talk to you again. Thanks for that. I'm shocked, but thanks for that. I was hoping I could really expand on that more. Okay, I'll add to the back of those videos. By the way, we can do that. Okay, I'm re-asking my question. Okay, I made the kidney tonic 2 and got a bad itchy hives from. Okay, all right, 2 times, head to toe. Make the kidney formula number 1 then. Lasted for 4 or 5 days. Ooh. Do you think it's an allergy reaction to it? Generally, if you're having an allergy reaction, you'll get that scratchy, closed-off throat feeling and the hives and stuff. That would be an anaphylactic shock, as they call it. We see this a great deal. You saw it with someone that just took the Parasite M formula. Here you're doing it with the kidney formula. I think if I was going to really to tell you my best opinion on that, is that that's right where your problem is the kidneys, and that you're so backed up lymphatically, you're also backed up subcutaneously under the epidermis here, and dermis, and then the next layer, you're backed up lymphatically, and it's just poof! It just kicked everything out, and that's what you're seeing. Sometimes it's better to go slower, where you're just doing the raw foods for a while and you don't do the herbs, and then you strap on the herbs. Sometimes it's better to get your feet wet a little bit and go, okay, clean up a little bit, and okay, and then put the pedal to the metal. Some of you guys are very bold, and here we go. And that's okay. A lot of you have already done raw for a long time, so you had a stepping stone, and then you took a giant leap. Do you think I don't think it's an allergy reaction. Slow up on your dosage maybe a little bit. I don't know. I do have a real dark mark in my kidney. Oh, yeah, that sounds right. This is what it sounds like. Sounds like your kidneys are not filtering worth a crap. Your skin is tried but isn't doing well, and now you're kicking everybody out, and the skin's going, ooh, and it's taking the brunt of it. That's what it sounds like. And we see this a lot. I do have a real dark kidney area. I also have a dark ring around the iris. That's the skin. Well, yeah, you're experiencing just what you got then, my friend. So hang in there. You'll be okay. You could call, let's see, Kathy's not here anymore. You could call Jennifer and see what Shannon, see what they're doing for rashes now. I know we have some herbs out there that they're put up together to bathe with and stuff for the itching and stuff, but I'd suck down Parasite M. And, really get a good kill. Focus more on the kidneys, less on the lymphatic, stuff like that, and see how that works out.
When you went to Carpenters?
Oh, anytime, soon as possible. Sorry about that. I had breast cancer, DC1S, IS, which is non-invasive. I chose not to do radiation and refused to ever do chemo. I also have not taken any of the estrogen drugs they want to. Yeah, you don't want to get into the Arumadex, what was the run before Arumadex was popular? They still use it. The Lupron is the men, but they do give women Lupron as well for testosterone suppression. Then you have the, this has been a day. Long Island iced tea. I did a lot of research on cancer and found that it is a money machine and a shame. I have never trusted a doctor since. Sam Cruz. Well, you know what? You saved your life, that's for sure. But get into your lymph system hard and heavy. Get into those kidneys. Get those adrenals up. Get your lymph system moving. If you still have anything left, of the cancer or anything, clean it right out and you're good to go. This is the best way to do it, honey. Get your lymph moving because you got to fix your kidneys and lymph anyway. No matter what one decides to do about tumors or whatever, you got 2 types of cancer, basically. You have the tumor type, and then you have the degenerative type to me. You have the 2 types, and I didn't mention that on the cancer video. I just now thought of it, because I don't think anymore. But the 2 types. Degenerative cancer is the hardest because it's the most involved. I had a degenerative pancreatic cancer case, and I think I showed you her eyes. If I haven't, I'm going to. And those of you that know about the eyes, we'll do a little segment on the iris again. You will see immediately why this lady had cervical cancer at 30, thyroid cancer at 32, and came to me with pancreatic cancer at 34. So at 34, she had cervical, thyroid, and pancreatic cancers. Hysterectomy, thyroidectomy, and then she came to us because they had no procedure for her cancer, and it was a degenerative pancreatic cancer. This was a case where she ate an apple, she pooped an apple, no digestive enzymes left. And for those that think digestive enzymes are here today, gone tomorrow, and you'll never replace them, this is a good case to show you a pancreas that was totally decayed, broken down, no digestion left, and in 11 months I totally had that pancreas rebuilt, total digestion, no more cancer, and a healthy body. I don't know how healthy the body was after 11 months. Her genetics would dictate years of regeneration. You'll see when I show you her eyes. Shocking at the depth of toxicity and weakness of cells. Not a good line. That line will end. I told her daughter that her eyes looked the same as her mother's. They were almost the same. She was about 15 at the time, and I told her daughter, Lou, you're in trouble. You've got to look what your mother's been through. You're walking down that same road. Right over her head. And of course, age 20, cervical cancer. Mom was 30. That's about how genetics are. 10 years off, and you'll see that. Not good. So smart person, smart lady here, but if you still have lumps and humps, get rid of them. Get that lymph moving. Get your body cleaned out. Don't keep that lymph acid in there. Get that cleaned out, and you're good to go, sweetheart. I'm going to, let me see here. This is a question by Helena la 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 la. Hey, you got to tell me about your name here. How do you get rid of sulfur? You detox it out the best you can do, and some people have so much it's going to be a while. I've always said sulfur's like glue in the human body. It's that hard to detox. If you have sulfur in your body, expect your detox to be a lot longer and a lot more involved, because it's just what they've done to the folk by giving them all these sulfa drugs, going after the messenger instead of the toxicity. Going after an infection isn't killing bacteria or fungus, it's going after what? Sewage. That's what's infectious. The simple difference. We've hurt a lot of people by using antibiotics. And just like someone said here in that previous statement about antibiotics, not good. And look at Cipro. FDA, what are you going to do about Cipro? You allow its use, and yet many, many, many people have died from Cipro. Still giving heart attacks, still giving strokes. You accept that, do you? Whew. Man, we got some serious criminals running our government. This is Kelly again, and by the way, Dr. Morse, the reason I jumped on here today was to say how fabulous your staff is. Thanks. I'm glad Brenda can help you. I really do, honey. She's a nurse. She kind of has a little bit of that medical still floating around, but still, she's been around with me a long time, so she knows what's up and what's down. Hi, JG. I'm not looking for something. I'll let you guys talk. Bo. Thank you for your work over the last month. Thank you, Bo. You become one of my teachers. Thank you, sweetheart. And Merry Christmas to you, dear one. Well, the answer is within you. I love that one, too. Dr. Morse just wanted to say how much I love you. I love you, too. And I appreciate all your views, guys. I'd give you all a big hug today. So we'll do a cyber hug. I've been 98% raw. Fantastic. For 4 months. I eat 2 meals a day at noon and around 6. Perfect. Both are mainly fruit meals. Ooh, with a green smoothie added at the 6 p.m. meal. Not bad. I fast 2 days a week, Monday and Tuesday. Boy, you're a kick butt lady. I have really noticed a difference after adding the fasting. Woohoo! I sleep better, have more energy, and my detox has picked up significantly. Yeah, the fasting. My knees are no longer sore, and my sinus troubles have cleared right up. My favorite fruit right now are the persimmons. Hope you have a wonderful holiday, and I hope you do too, sweetheart. Here's a hug for you and Bo. You guys are sweet ladies. Take them on, ladies. You men, we got to keep our butts moving. These ladies are kicking our butt. We got to keep moving. They're the female base side. Well, most of us guys that are on this tube is also kind of in the balance. Our pH is about 7.4. We got our male side, but then we kind of slide over on the female side. blood vessel problem. Dear Robert, my name is Olga. Olga Lang? No, that's not Olga Lang. I have heard many good things about your clinic and that you have helped lots of people. Thank you. Appreciate that. I hope hope you've heard nothing. We try. I mean, we really try. Definitely, we've helped so many people. I haven't seen anybody not. We have a few that have not got rid of their problems. And those people give up too soon. They don't want to put the work in. It's like this man with the polycystic kidneys. Did good job. Could be a lot of work involved in getting some of these things out of there. Okay, what else you got to do? I mean, you have your kidneys removed. Things will get better. It doesn't matter how long you're involved. Things will always get better, and your life and your kidneys and everything else will get better. It's got to hang in. Some things can take months, and some things can take a year or two. Don't freak out. I think that I have a problem with blood vessels in my body. At night, I experience pain in random places all over my left leg. I think that there is blood clotting in some areas of my leg. I also bruise very easy on my legs and arms. Please let me know what could be the most effective way to clean my blood vessels and get rid of this problem. Thank you. Best regards, Olga. I think that I have a problem with blood vessels in my body. At night, I experience pain in random places all over my left leg. I think that there is blood clotting in some areas of my leg. I also bruise very easy on my legs and arms. Please let me know what could be the most effective way to clean my blood vessels and get rid of this problem. Thank you. Best regards, Olga. Well, Olga, I think that one thing, when you're getting the bruising, that's your connective tissue in the capillary walls. That's thin capillary walls. They're breaking real easy. That's a parathyroid issue. You're too acidic, too much loss of calcium, and therefore you're seeing the aneurystic effects of the vascular walls. Work on that parathyroid gland. You can use circulation lower, definitely help to strengthen the walls. However, fruits and vegetables are vascular foods. All the flavonoid-rich fruits, which are most of them, are very, very beneficial, very healing to the vascular walls. Although I don't think that the pain and all that is vascular. I think that's the neurological system. Here's another system. It's one of the three main flows of energy in the body: blood, nerve, and lymph. So the nervous system sounds like you're very acidic. Sounds like you're not utilizing calcium well. You can be prone to spasms very easy, pain very easy. Definitely get the kidneys and the adrenals up, get your colon cleaned out, and move your lymph. Again, the breaking of the capillaries, that's a wholly different thing than the pain. But again, it does, it's just all acidosis here. So you really want to take care of that. You don't want bruising easy. That could lead to future aneurysms. That's not good. So strengthen your vascular walls by eating fruits and berries. You take something for the parathyroid. You could supplement your diet with kelp. Kelp would be an excellent supplement for those with calcium utilization problems. It'll give you the iodine to pump up the thyroid, parathyroid, and it gives you the calcium for the utilization of it. So a good supplement for you would be kelp, a good strengthener of vascular walls as well. At the same time, I'd move my lymph and get this pain out. Sounds like kidneys, kidneys, kidneys. This is the way we go to Lymphville. Okay, yeah, that's what I do, Olga. I got to have time to write these out. You've done an extraordinary job here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you for giving one. Thank you for your comments there. Appreciate it very much. I do. I appreciate all your comments, sir. We really feed off of that. Seattle Light Warrior. I love you too. Love you, Dr. Morris. I'm moving to Alabama. Well, you'll be pretty close to me then. Moving all the way to Alabama. Alabama's a pretty state. There's some pretty places in Alabama if you want to find some recluse, and it's close to the subtropical line. Oh yes, remember to massage clockwise. Yeah, yep. Be your potential app. I love those names. But Edward says use your thumb. Yeah, always go clockwise, I tell you, because try. You saw how I muscle test Drew. Well, find someone to play with him that way. Most everybody has thyroid weaknesses, so it's a no-brainer here. But you could try any part of the body, of course. But the thyroid, most people have this issue, so you can muscle test with that, and then strengthen them clockwise. Oh, right, but you can work from the scapula, from the top here down about 6 inches. Work both sides of the spine you can, but and you work clockwise there. Retest the strength, then go counterclockwise and retest. And I'll show you something interesting. You could use that with hyper cases. You could go the reverse to settle that energetic issue down. Keep in mind that you're always going to detox the acids and that which is hyperstimulating those tissues. Be your potential. How do you take people out of cardiac arrest with just using your thumb? Good question, my friend. Right here on your left hand, right at the base of this thumb, this whole pad here is your heart reflex. And you can dig in like this. And it's going to, when you're having a heart attack, this is going to hurt real bad. Right here. And let's say this is your left foot. And here's your toes. Here's your pad. Right over here on your left foot is your heart reflex. It'll also be very painful to the touch. Of course, they won't know it if they're out, but you want to rub clockwise and dig in there on the foot. I've done it on the hand once and twice on the foot. And you can do this. I've done it twice in Fawcett Hospital here, and I did it once in Cracker Barrel on a post-open heart lady. You just go right after this. But you can actually stimulate any tissue, any organ, any gland in your body with reflexology. Basically, the neat thing is it's a movement of energy and working with the nervous system, working with the blood, working with the lymph. The body's an incredible sponge of all types of things. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Harlem W651. I know, I get excited. I live in Michigan. You're a Michiganer. And have noticed that a lot of mucus has been draining from my head. All of a sudden, well, cold. Cold is alkaline, cold starts detoxing you. That's all that is. And they used to call it cold and flu, like they'll go out in the cold, you'll catch a cold. Well, bacteria is probably not roaming well right now in your part of the woods. Even bacteria retreats at around 40 degrees, I understand. Said even though I have changed my diet or taken any guys, don't have to. The cold is enough to, but it shows you how much congestion you have because you get a little cold and you're running already. I'm going to try to eliminate fat from my diet and stick to fruits to help the mucus more. I would now. It's before it gets real snowy up there. Could this increase in mucus be due to the cold weather? Right on, Harlem 651 on a lonesome highway at midnight in Port Aransas. My favorite bit. Oh, you like Kelly? I have to tell you, honey. I appreciate you more and more because you're hanging in there. So I respect that, dear one. Good job. I believe in everything you're doing. Hang in there, sweetheart. Keep detoxing your body. It is like riding a bronco, especially those that have had your adrenals shut down and all this. Just have to get everything started back up again. Hang in there. Well, I love this picture. Is this your cat? It's a wild cat. Vegan Princess. Yeah. Love the picture. Got a little, she said you ate nothing but oranges for 6 months and had a lot of OBEs. Oh, yeah. So if a tropical species just ate fruit 100% of the time, they would have OBEs. I believe that if we could get the human consciousness and the body moving up into these higher levels, I don't know if this planet could handle that level of awareness because it is where it is in creation. It is at the level of materiality that it is. I'm not sure at what level of consciousness this planet would, cut it. I notice that people get too expanded. It's about time to go. I mean, I look at Arnold Ehret and I'm going, why did he leave so quick? Well, he mastered what he needed to, left what he needed to, and on to his journey. And that you're going to see me do that, and you guys and everybody else do that. So, getting that consciousness here is amazing. Now, I had a lot of masters. I hooked up with a lot of powerful ECK masters to help me with out-of-body travels, but I can tell you, you can learn to have out-of-body experiences easy yourself. It's nice to have a spiritual being, and I doubt if there's any one of you that do not have a spiritual being that's working with you. I'm working with you. I've got a lot of little friends, not so little, that are working with everyone. So you've got a lot of help that you probably are not aware of right now, but you will be. What about sex drive? Lack of sex when consuming fruits? The problem is with that is that as you up here in this higher chakra, if you will, or you're up here in the etheric or the high level of consciousness from the head up, that down there doesn't work as well. I've always said if you want to have good lovemaking, go eat a piece of meat first. Some of you will get that. So how would a species on a fruit diet reproduce? Probably less than they are. Thank God, because you see where we're at. According to the World Health Organization, obviously, we're now on an unsustainable level of humans on the planet, and therefore we must terminate. What did they say? Did I hear 90%? Scary, isn't it? So I don't know. I think it'd be much more metered. If a species was a true frugivore species, wouldn't they be spaced out all the time and not grounded? No, I don't. I think that the reason we get spaced out is because of where we come from. It's like if I suddenly handed you God consciousness, I can tell you, most of you would not be able to handle it. You would literally, I'd have to go catch you before you couldn't come back. It is intense. I'll put it this way, just the lower part of God consciousness, if you can say that even existed, levels of beingness as opposed to levels of creation. Big difference. Tough, brother. At least where I've been, tough to come back. So I think the grounding is when you cheat, and when all of us, I had to go back and forth. And as you see, I'm not 100% raw right now. I'm about 80, 90. I can be 100 and I'll flip down to 80 or 90, depends. But as we grow our children into this, I really believe that the stability in consciousness will follow suit with it. I really do. Now, you take and all these generations of omnivorish eating, and suddenly you put them in. It's like living in the dungeon for 30 years, and suddenly, just like Mandela, suddenly you're in the light. You can't deal with it, and he couldn't deal with it, unfortunately. And that's the problem. Once you get used to the light, stability comes. And that's what I think is going to happen to us. Sarah, my lovely one, vegan princess. Beautiful picture, beautiful name, and great questions. I love that, because this is what you have to think about. This is where we need to go with our species. And as you see, we have nothing invasive on us. We don't have the teeth, we don't have the claws, we don't have the insides, we don't have anything that would represent hurting something.